Yes, yes. Good morning to the East. Good morning to the West. Welcome, everybody, again to your Daily Huddle. I'm your host, Dr. Monikah Ogando. Today is Spiritual Matters Thursday, and we're talking about how do you bargain with divine source. And like I mentioned before, you may be saying to yourself, I don't. What is she talking about? I don't bargain with divine source. Let's see. Let's audit our assumptions, shall we? That's one of our values here. So, have you ever said a secret prayer, but it was like a transactional request, like God, Spirit, Source, Allah, Buddha, whoever it is that you call on? God, if you just do this for me, I promise XYZ, right? Ooh, have you ever done that? Have you ever said to yourself, oh, once this, and this happens, then I will blah, 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 blah. Maybe you didn't say it to a source out there. Maybe you said it to a person. Maybe you said it to yourself. Have you ever said to yourself or to someone that you are in relationship with, I can't wait until XYZ so that I can ... Hmm? So you're putting conditions on the ways that you move, and you are basing your promises based on results and circumstances that will unfold for you. Put a one in the chat if you've ever done that. It's all right. It's all right. We've all done it. Put a one in the chat if you've done it. And how did that work out? Because what happens when people bargain with you? Your results from bargaining with divine source is directly proportional to what happens when people bargain with you. When your children have asked you to show up at a certain place, hey, honey, to show up, and you say, yes, I'll come to the soccer game. Yes, I'll come to your play. Yes, I'll bring those cookies. Yes, I'll da, 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 da. And you don't do it because you overslept, because you were tired, because you forgot, because it was too late notice, because whatever the condition might have been. So because you function that way, you think you have to throw in extra bonus material for God to be able to show up to you. I'm not just talking to myself, please. Tell me. Tell me I'm not just talking to myself. Cece, you had your hand up.
No, you're not talking to yourself. I've done the same thing.
Tell me how that has shown up for you.
It's not good to bargain with God anyway. I just try to do the right thing.
Anything.
Huh?
You're not harming anything. It's just funny to watch our own absurdities sometimes, you know.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've done some terrible things with bargaining, not just with God, but with other people.
Yes. Sometimes we've begged people to stay in relationships that we knew dang good and well wasn't good for them, wasn't good for us. We know dang good and well you didn't study for that test, and you over here wanting an A out of thin air, knowing dang good and well you didn't prepare for that blessing to land. You want somebody telling yourself.
True.
So, and why do we do it? Let me tell you why. Thank you, Cece. Thank you for sharing. Let me tell you why, as human beings collectively, okay, collectively, I'm not talking about any specific situation. You don't have to say, yeah, but my situation is different. No. We're talking about principles here. You have heard the universal law of correspondence being translated to say, as above, so below, as within, so without, right? You've heard that. That's a mistranslation. Allow me to nerd out. You know, we got some degrees up here about comparative religions. So in the and people sometimes quote the Kabbalion, and Kabbalion was written by 3 white people. in the 1900s. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. And if you're talking about the emerald tablets, you're not talking about the emerald tablets in Egypt. You're talking about the emerald tablets that, once again, were written in actually 300 years ago. The emerald tablets of Thoth were written about 300 years ago. We're talking about the ones over there that were actually written in Arabic and were in themselves a translation of ancient Syriac language. And so in that language, the mistranslation, if you were to do it literally, says, the above is of the below, and the below is of the above. In other words, they're mirror images of each other. It sounds like a nuance. It sounds like semantics, but hear me out. Because you can see the above contained in the below, and you can see the below contained in the above. That's the whole yin and yang picture, right? That there's like this little black dot inside of the white, and there's this little white dot inside of the black. It contains the below, and the below contains the above, right? And so that's the reason why we think that people act the way we would act. And when they don't, we get surprised, we get disappointed, we get huffing and puffing, and we make offers and requests and transactions based on how we would be if we were on the receiving end. It's also the reason why we don't ask for help, because you have sometimes failed to show up for yourself. So you're thinking, if I self-abandon, surely these people are not going to show up either. They'll abandon me also. You are your own metric, right? Subconsciously. And so, and you should be. You are your own metric, because there is nobody out there but you. The whole universe is you pushed out. And so you judge others, you evaluate. I'm going to call it evaluate, because there's a lot of weight around the word judge. But you evaluate and assess others based on how you would act, what you would do, what you wouldn't do, how you would say it, et cetera, et cetera. And you ascribe that same value to God. We think that we are taking the characteristics of what we assume to be divine intelligence and using that as the benchmark for ourselves. We should be as God is. And then we say, and God is da 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 da, therefore I should be da 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 da. That's not necessarily how we function in the world, based on results, just based on results. We sometimes falter from the standards that we ourselves have set, and then bargain to find our way back into a measurable level of decency or success or acceptability, etc. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong. Okay, because a lot of times what happens is when somebody hears, "Oh, you're bargaining with God's act," the assumption is I shouldn't do that. Well, why not? Who else would you bargain with? Who has your answers? Right? And so I don't want you to go off the deep end thinking that I'm indicting you into feeling guilty about something that we just do naturally. If you notice, children bargain with their parents all the time, for everything. For the bottle, for extra sleep time, for extra awake time, so they can sit in front of the car, sit up in the car seat, so that they can go, grab some extra food. That's where we got the whole thing, like, yeah, well, I know you want McDonald's. You got McDonald's money? That's where we get that from, right? And what is the universal principle of that question? What is the universal principle that belies that funny question? We laugh. We say, oh, yeah, my mom used to say that to us when we go in here, when we go into that store, don't ask for nothing, don't touch nothing, because you're not going to get nothing. We came here for one purpose and we're leaving with that purpose. Don't ask for nothing. And so we train ourselves to think, I am not entitled to get what I want. I don't deserve what I desire. And so we do these other things like bargaining and like trading and like, earning and performing to achieve and so forth, right? And what I'm inviting you to is not to stop a certain behavior and do this more acceptable behavior. I'm not interested in that. And I'm not evaluating you like that. We all do that for ourselves. You don't need another person to do it for you. What I am inviting you to do, though, is to examine it for yourself and to see if this is how you choose to move, right? Because awareness is what brings choice. Once you're aware of, oh, that's how I do that. Oh, that's what I'm doing. Oh, that's what I've been lying to myself about. Oh, that's what I've been negotiating on. Oh, okay. You can either continue because it works and because that's your choice, or you can continue because you're ignoring it or are in denial, right? Or you can choose to do something else. But from choice, from awareness comes choice. And from that choice, you can be deliberate and intentional about your actions. Yeah. So let's hear from everybody. Where are you with this bargaining thing? What's your favorite thing to bargain about? My favorite thing to bargain about is time. I know dang good and well that I should have left the house 20 minutes ago. But somehow I expect a miracle in the middle of Atlanta traffic to part the Red Sea and to get me there on time, even though I did not set myself up to win. That's my favorite thing to bargain about. What about you, Florence?
Well, I think I probably subconsciously bargain, not so much. Well, I mean, like not made like conscious, too many conscious decisions, but I think in the right as you're talking about time, I think I've done that a
Mm-hmm.
lot
Mm-hmm.
because I know that I haven't been disciplined. So then when when I leave, and then I'm still hoping to get there on time and all of this, I feel I'm doing it, but I'm not like consciously like saying it. However, um, I have just like, I mean, within the last year,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've come to a whole different like relationship with source. I mean, I began that since 2020, but
Mm-hmm.
it's been working out much differently because I've just come to realize that source has wants the best for me
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning. Source wanted the best for everyone. Like there was just this is what how I feel, and like I have like I continue to talk about downloads. One morning I'm standing by the window and I'm looking out and just being grateful for the
What do you
sunshine and all.
bargain for? What do you bargain for? That's the question.
Okay, so for money, I used to money for
Mm-hmm.
for for being for money and for the right partner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. See, this is the part that I want to get to. This is why Thursdays are so juicy. Because when we begin to tell on ourselves, when we begin to divulge and live out of our authenticity, we can move more powerfully because then we can make those choices as opposed to just, playing the good spiritual superior thing. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
it makes sense. Money, a partner, time, those are all, threads in our life that makes our life more meaningful and significant and according to society, more worthwhile. So, what else? Anything else? You good?
I bargained for a better relationship with my daughter.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We often
Um,
want our close ones to be.
those were the main ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Florence. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Cece, you're up. Cece, you have your hand up. Cece's pound cake. Pound, 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 pound. Okay, I'm gonna put you back and then bring you back when you unmute, okay? What about you, Michelle? You had your hand up too.
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, family. I also bargain for time
Mm-hmm.
because not being responsible with my time, oftentimes I would leave late. And as you said, parting the Red Sea, expecting the parting of the Red Sea, I
Yeah,
would actually say to the universe, please bend time for me by 10 minutes.
exactly. Yes,
Please bend time for me by 10 minutes so I can make it on time.
yes.
And it's a really a poor relationship with time, because in my mind, it takes me but 12 minutes to get from point A to point B, wherever I'm leaving from. It is just a total lack of awareness and cooperating with actual time.
Mm-hmm.
And it is to my demise.
I understand completely.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm totally working against myself in that area, and bargaining for things to work out.
Yeah.
I am complete, not being responsible and aware. I don't know what's going on, because one minute I look at the time, oh, I've got time, and the next minute it's like, oh my God,
Yes. 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 Yes.
what happened? Where
So,
did the time
Michelle, you
go?
bring up a great point, because I have heard of this term called time blindness. I didn't know that this was even a thing. But people experience time blindness in what you're saying, right? That we sometimes get caught up in something that we're doing, or we might get into flow again, or we might just get into another activity, and then we lose track of time. And then before you know it, you should have left 20 minutes ago, right? And what I'm going to say about that is, I heard a long time ago a mentor tell me that whatever breakdowns we have around time are the same breakdowns that we have around intimacy, connection, relationship. And the breakdowns that we have around money are the breakdowns and the setups that we have around self-worth. And at first I was like, oh, sounds like psychobabble. I'm not sure that actually makes any sense to me. But then I started observing it. And lo and behold, if I had pearls, I would clutch them. It is indeed.
Clutching mine.
Yes. I was like, oh, this is the way that when I mess around with time like that, this is the way that I assert my specialness. Like, look, I made it in time. Look how special I am. God parted the Red Sea for me, and I made it when I wasn't supposed to. Or that I made people wait, and they waited. That means I'm special to them, and a lot of other things that when you say them out loud, they sound ridiculous. But on the subconscious level, it's a lot of the ways in which we get our emotional needs met. And when I started looking at that, I was like, okay, I am going to shift my identity. I am no longer the Latina who's always late. I am going to be the friend that respects people's time. I'm shifting my identity, right? And so it takes practice, because again, you're not just shifting behavior, you're shifting value, you're shifting identity. And out of shifting that identity, you shift your behavior. So
thank you for that. I'm making note of that, because I was told by a friend of mine that it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful for those you care about to show up late. And for myself, I discovered that part of it is, I think it's a need to control.
Right.
And you are correct, is how it transfers into other areas of your life, because it's the saying goes, how I do anything is how I do everything.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So I thank you.
Thank you.
Shifting identity. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Michelle. Okay, we're back to you, Cece. There she is.
Yes. I don't like being late, and I don't like other people being late for me, because they're abusing my time. And all of our time is important.
Sure.
So I'm making an effort to be on time. And yes, I bargain with God when I'm running late. I'll be like, look, Lord, get me through this traffic, open up the cars. I'm up here praying. Cars are opening up. And but that's not a good practice to be in, always in a rush or in a hurry to be on time. So I'm making an effort to be on time, because God is always on time for me. He's never been late. So I need to do the same thing to honor other people's time as well as my own.
I like it. Thank you, Cece. I love that. There are some bargains that may feel too close for comfort. They may feel too sensitive to bear in a public forum like this. But one of them that comes to mind, it's not a constant thing, but it just, in 2021, I think I've shared with you guys that in 2021, there was a period of time where I was like, there was a loss in my family, or somebody passed away. I shouldn't say loss, but somebody passed away, somebody transitioned. And it was like a 7-month period where it was like 7 people, bam, somebody dropped dead, somebody died, somebody transitioned, somebody went away. Culminating with my dad passing away in October. And I was, and I ain't gonna lie, I bargained with God. I was like, listen, how about a moratorium on this? How about you take a break from dying, from people going away, from me losing people? How about you go do something else? Don't you got a war to end? Don't you got some hungry people to feed? Why are you taking stuff away from me though? Like I've just been over here minding my business. Like what's going on, right? And so I think sometimes the bargaining is a way that we deal with grief, is a way that we deal with pain, is a way that we deal with discomfort. It's a way that we deal with the cognitive dissonance of the results are not what I expected, or what I wanted, or what I, signed up for, or whatever the case may be. And then we think that if we bargain, if we pray enough, if we say the right psalm, if we go to the right church, if we light the right candle, if we, et cetera, that somehow we will magic up the results that we actually want instead of the ones that we're getting. At least that's been, upon further examination, darling, that has been the way that I've tried to play this game. And sometimes it has worked and sometimes it has not. Laura, you have something? Come on up.
Oh, greetings. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
I'm here cracking up because I'm actually in the process of bargaining with time.
Okay, come
I
on.
could have left home from 8:30 to get to the gym to get to my exercise class by 10. But I'm on the mastermind. I'm preparing my breakfast, and I'm telling myself, oh, I can run to the train and and
Yeah.
I am actually hearing myself bargaining, and I'm like, should I go take the bus? And by the time I'm ready, now it's raining. Whereas if I'd left in time,
Right.
maybe I wouldn't be caught in the rain.
Right.
So I love this conversation. I have a question.
Yes.
Is bargaining with time and money, is it the same as bargaining with God?
Say it again because you cut out a little.
Oh, sorry. Is bargaining with time and other things the same as bargaining with God?
I don't know. Who's in charge of time in your world?
So I guess it is. Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't you just love it? This is one of the reasons why, but one of my favorite quotes is questions are the creative acts of intelligence. Because when you start asking questions, it's like, oh, you get some answers, Oh, Rashida's here. Come on up, Rashida.
Grand rising, everyone. Thank you so much, my sister queen. I am doing the same thing like Laura. I'm laying down on my back, literally laying down on my back because I've been sick for the past 7 days. And for the 7 days that I've been sick, away from my 6 weeks that I did my 40 days, that I am on the end of my 40 days. And the bargaining that I have got, I have to laugh because I got so sick, so sick that in what it was Sunday and Monday, I'm gonna tell you, and I am just straight out transparent. I was asking, and I was like, "Can you please just come and get me?"
Right.
Can you please just come and get me? And I was speaking to my sister after I started to do the pleading. She says, "They don't want you up there, girl. You have unfinished business done here."
Yeah.
So get a different request.
Oh,
and
okay.
I say to you, bargaining with
Mhm.
God or bargaining with spirit, you have to be mindful and you have to be open mind, because my grandmother used to say, girl picking, do not ask for what you cannot anger. So we have to be mindful of what we request. And when we request it, we got to make it with details. Oh, I want this. I want this. And you put into your request, because trust me, what you ask for is exactly what you're going to get. So I bargain, and I bargain big. Sometimes they will be like, okay, I'm going to give you this first, and then we come back with some more. Okay. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem, but thank you, Dr. Ogando. Beautiful topic to let me end my 40 days. Thank you very much.
Awesome, beautiful. I love your picture all in white. That's gorgeous. Something came up for me when you were sharing, Rashida, and that is, be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it and you get more than you bargained for. I'm gonna say that happens in two different levels, and I'm gonna use dinner time as an example. When I was little, maybe you guys can relate. When I was little and my mom would cook dinner, or somebody would cook dinner in the house and put a plate in front of me, I made the decision to whether I wanted it or not based on what I thought it was going to taste like. Right? If I liked how this thing in front of me tasted, I would eat it. If I didn't like how it tasted, I didn't want it. It didn't occur to me that you might want to eat this because you need that vitamin C, or because you need that protein, or because you're out of carbs and you need to fuel yourself, and you're about to go on a long day and you need to, strengthen yourself for the day ahead. And so, like, those were not the considerations that I had. It was whether it tasted good or not, right? And it wasn't until I got older, it wasn't until I got more mature that I realized I have a different way of consideration about what I am going to eat for dinner or not. I am now considering my macros. I am considering calories. I am considering the nutritional value and whether that makes sense for me or not. Do I need any more glucose in my body, Lord, right now? No, I do not. But I could use some more protein, right? And so then I make different choices. And whether it tastes good is secondary at best. And I'm going to say that that's one of the things that happens when we bargain for something. We are negotiating based on our tastes, based on our preferences, instead of what we actually need at the soul, at the spiritual level. And so even though you might get what you quote unquote bargained for, you're going to get this macro. You're going to get this caloric intake that you need. Yeah, because it is secondary to your spiritual unfoldment, whether it tastes good or not. That's what you are worried about. But at your soul level, it's like, no, what's going to get me further? What's going to evolve me? What's going to ascend me? What's going to have me show up as the greater version of myself? That's what I'm interested in eating. That's what I'm interested in facing. And so I offer that to you. Robin is clapping. Robin, is that you clapping over there? I love it. So I'm offering that to you because the next time that you are negotiating, check to see what it is that you're negotiating based on. Is Chase here? The birthday boy is here. All right, you guys. I know you can't all unmute at once, but we're going to do this one good time, okay? Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Happy
Hey.
birthday to ya. Happy birthday, Chase.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Chase.
Chase.
Happy birthday.
May you have many, many blessed more.
Whose birthday is Chase? Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Chase.
Happy birthday,
Okay.
Chase.
Happy birthday, my brother King.
Celebrate
Happy
yourself.
birthday, my brother King.
He turns 25. He could rent a car now.
Yes,
I'm kidding. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Chase, for showing your beautiful face. We love you. And of course, love generously, laugh a lot, eat more plant-based, stress-less, sleep at least 7 or 8 hours a day. Give of yourself, your time, your energy, your attention, your love, your generosity. etc., etc. And of course, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Always audit your assumptions. Please remember, if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Facebook too, subscribe. Okay, make it official. We go together. You know we go together. You keep showing up. Make it official, and we'll see you next time. Love you, everybody.
Thank you, Dad.
One love, guys. One love.
Thank
One
you.
love.
One love. One love.